Class number three will be either systematic review or maybe will be a continuation of the chapter one development, depending on what we're going to do in class number two. Okay, then class number three is what I've just mentioned. And class number four will be most likely, I think, will be systematic review lah, towards the end of the year. Okay, which is a quite important topic to look at as well. Okay, so with that, thanks again for joining today. So let me get started by sharing my screen. Okay. Okay. So please keep your mic muted at all times. Okay, help me out with that so that it doesn't disrupt the flow of the class. I'll open up my chat box also. So if you have any queries whatsoever, please type it out in the chat box. I'll definitely try to answer you guys. Okay. All right. Done. Okay. So we got some very interesting stuff to share today. Let me also open up all my tabs. Okay, it's already here. All right. Okay. So again, today's focus is going to be on Scopus Web of Science High Impact Journals with AI, applying hourglass theory. Okay, it will be very crucial to understand how to extract lah, journals. Okay, so this seminar is purposely made informal, all right? So that's why you can see me wearing a t-shirt, so I make it very informal. So to break down barriers so that you can ask questions more freely, okay? I know a lot of people got a lot of questions to ask, a lot of things unanswered, so I'll be more than happy to answer. And this is me. I don't want to go through this. I think Arif have done the part already. So this is us, proofreading by UK PhD. Like it's a bit far away. Okay. Proofreading by UK PhD. We are based in Cyberjaya. Okay, that is our experience so far. We have already worked on, this was last year's count, more than 51,000 documents. We have consulted, coached, and so on. We are an ISO 9001 certified academic consulting firm. Okay, this is our presence so far. Okay, globally. And this is what we do as a firm. Okay, so we focus a lot on thesis consultancy, publication is our main forte. Chapter 4 and 5, quantitative, qualitative analysis, Viva, defense examiner correction, how to do all those corrections. Thesis to journal conversion, so these are the main bases. And we also nowadays focus a lot on Turnitin AI reduction, okay, which is a very painful part. So we'll be also looking at that today. Okay. So if you have any questions, again, use your keyboard, be keyboard warriors for the right reason. And this is where you can find most of my recorded classes, lengthy videos. Okay, in case if you want to learn something for free, you can go on to visit my YouTube. Let me open up my YouTube quickly. Okay, so this is my YouTube channel. This is my YouTube channel. So let me copy the link for all of you guys. Okay, you can find a lot of classes here. Okay, so a lot of videos. So these are all the lengthy videos. These are our latest problem statement template. A lot of Turnitin AI paraphrasing techniques. Okay, we have posted throughout the weeks. Okay, Scopus AI also we have a full video here. Okay, quite a lengthy video. Google Scholar was a semantic scholar. Also we have it here to search for papers and so on. So I leave that to you guys to go and explore. We also have, in case if you missed out last year's classes on literature review, we have done a repeat last January. Okay, we did a class for all the others who missed out on the classes. So here got critical review research gap with Google Scholar. This is a class we did. How a student failed proposal defense. Okay, this is another class. Systematic review how to publish. Okay, but this one nothing to worry. We'll repeat this one. We'll upgrade this and do again a class this year. Okay. So there are a lot of recorded classes here. You can see lengthy ones, right? 1 hour, 2 hours, and so on. So whenever you're free, you want to learn problem statement writing, ChatGPT for thesis writing, literature review template, background writing, introduction writing, and so on and so forth, you can come over here and watch. Okay, all of these are free. So I'll leave it to you guys to go and explore. Okay, then we have ample of free templates. So how many of you here are joining my class for the very first time? Never joined before. This is literally the first time you guys are joining. Please let me know in the chat box. Never joined before, eh? First time, eh? Banyak juga first time. Okay. All right. So for those who don't know about these free templates, see, with the emergence of AI, even yesterday we had one a failure case of using complete prompt and paste from AI without going through, without understanding what needs to be done, without understanding the structural requirement of a master's PhD thesis. The student eventually failed her proposal defense. I think in UPM also. Yeah, I think so. I think in UPM. Okay, if I'm not mistaken, I think yeah, UPM. So, therefore, I came up with all these templates as a guideline. Okay, as a guideline, how you can design your complete thesis in the case of quantitative, qualitative, mixed method, and so on. How to design a chapter 2 literature review template, literature review chapter. Then we got chapter 3, chapter 1. All these are templates from chapter 1, background, introduction, problem statement, and so on. These are all literature review templates. All of this we explored last year. So we won't be exploring this year. We'll be most likely exploring this next year again. So this year, we don't explore this, but if you still want to learn, you can go and watch my recorded classes. These are all proposal defense Viva templates, okay, to prepare you guys for proposal defense and Viva. These systematic literature review templates, all of this. Okay, then we have full chapters 1 to 5 templates, chapter 4 data analysis template, quantitative lah, quantitative. Then we also have chapter 3. This is the latest release. I released this 2 weeks ago. How to design the complete methodology for chapter 3. Okay, that means for your proposal lah. All right, so all of these templates you can download from our Telegram group. Okay, so here is the link to our Telegram group. About attendance link, don't worry. Yeah, towards the end of the class, Arif will share. Until then, stay on, watch the video. So this is the link to our templates if you guys want to download lah. So we'll click that link. This particular page will open up. Make sure you hit the subscribe button here. Okay, click the subscribe button, add in your email and subscribe, because any new videos, any new classes when we announce here, public classes, you'll be notified. Okay, so if you want instant notification, let's say you missed out messages or missed out emails and so on, this particular page will notify you via email. So you can click this button here, subscribe. And then you can also find, like this one is the latest Turnitin AI video, how to reduce Turnitin AI. These are all of my TikTok resources and everything else. All our services, templates. This is where very important for you to join Telegram group. If you click this, okay, you will join in. We have a very, very huge Telegram group. Okay, 22,000 members. All right. So you can find a lot of templates. All of the templates are basically located here. Why here and not in the WhatsApp group? Okay, I'll share with you guys the WhatsApp group shortly, UPM1. Because WhatsApp, the files will expire. Okay, files, we all know that lah. Tapi in Telegram, the files won't expire. So you can just click the search button here, type template. You will be able to download all the templates here. You can see everything is here. You can download and use it. All of it are free. Okay, so download and use it. Why I came up with this? Because I cannot guide and coach all the students. Not enough resources for the demand that is coming in. Okay, so a lot of students are left out that I cannot take on cases, especially urgent cases and so on. So I provide a lot of free resources to help yourself also. Okay, in case if you can help yourself lah. Okay, so these are all the resources. You can go and download and use it. There are many more. You just keep typing template, more templates will come out in this particular space. Okay, so I'll leave that to you guys. Okay. How many of you here are not in the UPM WhatsApp group? We have a dedicated UPM WhatsApp group. So how many of you here are not in the UPM WhatsApp group? Please let me know. Okay. Wow. Also a lot of people. All right. So this is our UPM WhatsApp group. This particular group, okay, is very crucial because for this year's classes, all the links will be shared in this WhatsApp group. Apart from your email, I will also give reminder in this WhatsApp group, and also this is very good mode for communication lah. If you want to collect data, you want to talk to your colleagues, peers, you want to ask any questions to me and everything, this will be a WhatsApp group dedicated for UPM students. Okay, I have about 25 to 30 different groups across every universities lah. Okay, some university we have three groups already. UITM we have three, UTM we have three, UPM still at one lah. Okay, but the most of universities already reached 2 to 3 groups already. Okay, so this is dedicated for you guys. I hope it's not full yet. If it is full, please let me know. Then I'll open up one more. Still got space code. Still got space. Still got 120 more spaces to go. Okay, so I've shared the link. I'll leave it to you guys to join. Okay, so you guys know how to download ready. Then we also have all the free PhD classes, all the free notes of last year's classes and so on. Let's say if you watch the replay, you want the notes, you just go and download here. Okay, download here and make sure subscribe to our YouTube channel lah. Okay, so that's that. Now let's get started for today's class. Okay, so we are going to go through what are high impact journals. Yeah, admit this to the. What are high impact journals? How to find a journal? This is for the first time I'm going to share this. I've never shared this before. A new technique on very, very quick research gap analysis. Very interesting part to share today. Even for me, it was very, very interesting for me to find out that we can actually do this. AI plus Boolean research gap analysis. And then hourglass theory on potential extraction of journals from a thesis. How many thesis max you can generate, okay, or can extract. Then why rejection happens? Very important question. Why do rejection happens? Okay, so before we get into it, I believe most of you need to publish at least 2 scopus. Please confirm for me in the chat box. What is the publication requirement for your master's or PhD or your KPI in case if you're an academician lah. Please let me know in the chat box. I believe most of you need 2 scopus kalau PhD. But if there's any other requirements, please let me know in the chat box so we can work according to that. Okay. 2 scopus indexed. Anyone needs only 1 scopus? Anyone needs 2 Web of Science or 1 Web of Science or 5 Web of Science? Anyone needs something different? Okay. So I think generally everyone 2 scopus index lah. All right. Okay. Fantastic. Okay. So that is good enough. Okay. So we are going to go through 3 important case studies before we open up the class today. All right. Very, very important case studies. And these are the current dynamics of publishing world at the moment. Right. These are the current publishing world. KPI for CIJ at least 2 Q1, Q2. Okay, banyak juga. Yeah. 4 papers per year. Okay, all right. So from our hourglass theory, if you really focus on one thesis itself, you can easily get about 5 to 6 papers. Can, possible. Okay. So, but that one we'll go through that later lah. Okay. So this is the current publishing dynamics after the emergence of AI. Okay, even we are now only learning and exploring after case by case. We are learning. Oh, this is how journalists evolve. Because whatever happening, decision making within journals or the ruling set by Scopus or Web of Science, we will never know. Only the journals will know. Okay, and this is a very I don't know why, but it's a very either they don't communicate very clearly or they keep it very secretive so that they don't want to announce because things will change very quickly. Okay, but these are the things that we found out so far. So this is one paper, okay, that we coach and consulted. So usually when students or academicians, when they come to us, they want us to coach them for papers. My first question would be how much of AI you used, okay, or how much of AI your student used. If maximum, like, they just prompt and paste everything, then usually I don't want to get involved because there'll be a lot of fake information, a lot of fake references, fake citation. it'll lead to a lot of different problems lah. So normally I'll try to dig in and dig in and dig in to see how much of AI they use. Not saying that that we shouldn't use AI. There is a way to use AI. Okay, and the way most students are using it are wrong. Okay, they're just generating and pasting, which is a very bad idea, very bad precedent set for masters and PhD. Not for ethics. I'm not talking about ethics. Ethics is between you and your university, because we don't know what university have set ruling. Okay, so for Telegram link, wait, let me share with you this link. Okay, this particular link will take you everywhere, right? Okay, so that is what we're going to share today, how to use AI wisely. So this particular student, when I asked her, she said never use AI, only use AI to proofread and so on. Usually when they overuse AI, when they just prompt and paste, I think they kind of feel embarrassed to even share, okay, to even disclose. So since they say never use any AI, if never use AI for literature review, for finding papers and so on, usually there won't be fake information and fake citation. Usually there won't be. So we don't really go through the citation. We don't open the paper and read, because our focus is to coach and teach how to structure the paper properly, so that you can get into Scopus and so on. So we won't go deep into the papers. We won't open each and individual paper, try to find the paragraph, where this citation coming from and so on. So we don't do that, because we from our perspective, the proposal is good. Proposal defense pass already. This one proposal defense pass, huh? And then good to go lah, because it already went through the scrutiny. But after went through 3 revisions, okay, the student did 3 revisions. We taught her how to do all the revisions, everything step by step. This was the reply from IGI Global Scientific Publishing, very good journal. IGI is something like not as big as Elsevier, probably is something like Emerald, okay, something like Emerald. So this was the reply from the director of journal development. Dear, I censor the name. I don't want to reveal the names. Not very nice. Huh? I hope you're doing well. My name is Grace Long, and I'm the Director of Journal Development, IGI Global Scientific Publishing. I'm contacting you regarding your article. Okay, blah, 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 secondary schools, which was accepted, already accepted, finished 3 revisions and accepted already. Right? This is the very sad part, lah. During our standard integrity checks before publication, we discovered that 21 of the 35 references provided for this article have been fabricated. Fabricated, there are 2 ways when we went deep into it. Some citations really do not exist. Okay. Some content from the citation exists, but they even go down to the content. They look at the content is not there in the paper. Okay, it's totally not there. So what student does is either student generated the whole literature review from AI, just copy and pasted everything, or the student uploaded the paper. There are many cases, we don't know, probably a mix up of everything. Uploaded the papers, just ask AI to read, summarize, just copy and paste. Okay, both also very dangerous to do if you don't read the paper, if you don't know what the hell is going on. Then you end up like this. Okay, this one already went through, I think 1 year and 4 months. Okay, because 3 revisions, what? 1 year, 4 months of process and paper got accepted. Okay, so again, during our standard integrity checks with publication, we discovered that 21 of 35 references provided for this article have been fabricated. This constitutes a serious violation of academic integrity and publication ethics. Due to the severity of this misconduct, we have formally withdrawn this manuscript and will not be proceeding with publication. And this decision is final. You cannot even appeal. After spending more than 1 year, you cannot even appeal. Okay, because that is in accordance with the publication ethics policies. Why they became so strict? Okay, so just to summarize, student used AI but no thorough check of citation and content, because student never read anything. Pretty much students stop reading. Okay, this is what I'm observing, and they don't really try to understand what is going on. It's just prompting and pasting, pretty much. After 3 revisions, the paper got accepted, but since the journal had implemented AI fact-checking process now, the paper was caught for fake content and fake references. AI is a super tool and ultimate destroyer as well. If you use it very good, it's a super tool. If you use it wrongly, then it becomes a destroyer as well. Okay, because hallucination will kill the research. Hallucination means is the amount of fake information, fake citation, fake research gap even created by AI. Okay, and also another very, very sad part is IGI Global will report the incident to Scopus and the respective university as well for misconduct. Okay, they will report, they have to. They will inform because Scopus is important criteria for QS university ranking. So these journals, the good ones, lah, the worst ones, I don't know. Q3, Q4 ones, I don't know. But the good ones, usually they'll report. They'll report to Scopus, they'll report to Web of Science, and then they'll report the university also because they don't want to be kicked out from Scopus. Okay, because this one considered they never did their job properly, lah. Journal never did review properly. So, in order to avoid all those problems, they will report everything. They will send the report to Scopus and say, we have cleared everything, not our mistake. Okay. So, Doctor, if we citation we're using mainly by adding using DOI link, is it possible for the references to be fake? Yes, because even the DOI generated is fake. Got quite a lot, Doctor. Got quite a lot. Even the DOI will be fake. If you click the DOI, sometimes the paper won't even open up. Okay, so need to be careful. If you check each and every detail, if you check all the content, let's say the fellow saying, today I eat nasi lemak, I feel very hungry, but still, walking to the shop is very difficult, and therefore we propose to take a bus to the shop. And just example, just example. We must be able to go and find that content in the paper, okay, the cited paper. But when you open up the cited paper, usually it won't be the same content. The content will be something else. The content might be talking about the best breakfast in Malaysia. It won't even be talking about what is cited in the paper. Okay, it'll totally manipulate and create fake information. It can. Okay, Manley system, right? That part I'm not so sure. Okay, because I use EndNote. I don't really use Manley. So EndNote usually will just I still go to the journal. I'll open up the journal. I'll get the RIS file. Okay, RIS file. I'll add it to the library because I don't want to be famous. So I try not to take directly from the journal. Okay, I mean from the AI tool, whatever tool that we're using lah. So I still go to the journal, I find the journal, I download the RIS file, I'll take the RIS file, I'll upload onto EndNote. I still use EndNote lah. Okay, so I hope that is clear. A little bit of manual work I prefer so that I'm sure that the journal exists, and I'm sure the volume, the issue number, the full title, everything is correct. Okay, so why is this? Even we got shocked. Okay, we work on at least I think 300 to 400 papers per month. Okay, that is the amount of papers we worked on. We work on 300 to 400 easily. Okay, in mix of review papers, empirical papers, Cochrane review, scoping review, systematic review, bibliometric review. So many different review work, empirical, pilot study, and so on and so forth. But this is the first time we have seen this. Okay, that's why I'm sharing this. Why this happened? Okay, the reason why the sudden change in publication dynamics is because of this. Okay, this exploded. Okay, this particular news exploded quite significantly, especially on LinkedIn. All right, LinkedIn. This paper got retracted after publishing. Okay, after publishing. Got one more case also became famous, but this is one of the most famous lah from China, Russia, and South Korea. Okay, authors from 3 different countries. Okay, that is the paper. Does green innovation mitigate CO2 emission, transport emission, and carbon intensity in Asian developing economics? Okay, before we go into this, let me ask all of you, what is the meaning of retracted? Can you guys tell me in the chat box? What is the meaning of retracted? Okay, taken off, then tarik balik, alright. Drawback. Okay, so what is the meaning then? Okay, what happens? If retracted means what happens? What happened to the authors and the published work? What will happen? Okay, will this paper still be citable? Can you still cite this paper? Will this be still available online? Can people, the whole world still see this paper published? Okay, so basically, okay, this is the worst part of everything. A lot of people don't know this. Okay, so this is the paper. Okay, this is the link I'll share with you all, right? Can see and can read, and forever it will be there. It will never be removed. Okay, it's like you are known as scammer, all right, for rest of your life, and it will never go off from the history of publishing. Okay, this page will permanently sit here, and even in your Google Scholar, it will come up retracted, blah 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 blah. Okay, all the author's name, everything, even the paper. If you click view PDF, okay, yeah, oh my God, exactly. I also got shock of my life. Because before AI, there is no retraction happens now. Even my time publishing all, I've never heard of the word retraction. Okay, only now since I think 2024, I'm hearing retraction. 2022, AI exploded. 2024, the amount of retraction. There's even a body now called Retraction Watch. So if you want to become famous for using AI to write paper and then get caught for all the fake information, your name will come up here. So like this, like an NGO, okay, like an NGO that goes after all the journals, okay, for allowing fake papers to be published. Okay, you can see there. See one more retracted. Okay, every day they got story, and with the people's photos will come out. Okay, even university photo, everything. Okay, so be very, very careful lah, right? So this paper, forever, okay, forever, authors did not obtain proper license to use instrument, hence retraction of the paper. Yeah, that also can happen. All right, that also can happen. So forever, this paper will be shown like this lah, retracted. Okay, that means after publishing, and if instrument never get copyright, that's okay. I think that would not embarrass us. Okay, that is still very very good. I think that's not a big deal lah, to be honest. And that one usually they will give them opportunity to go and request for the copyright, and then they're allowed to publish. Okay, so if you look at here, they have given full explanation here. The journal was alerted to concerns regarding the integrity. See, was alerted regarding the integrity of the mentioned article. Specifically, the 38 of the references cited appear not to exist in scientific literature, and the authors were invited to provide explanation. In their response, the authors indicated that an unintentional technical error in reference manager process led to some incorrect or invalid entries, and that they had amended all remaining references accurately. Actually, they'll give them chance. They'll give them chance. They won't simply retract. Okay, but in the revised version, these idiots, okay, sorry to use that word, but these idiots, from 38 problematic references, here they replaced with 13. That means confirm 38 were fake, okay, or the content were fake. Either the references were fake, both also they call it, the term used is not appear lah. Okay, not appear means either the citation is there, the content don't appear in the paper, or the citation itself don't appear. Either two only, okay. So these idiots took the 38 problematic references, replaced by 30 new references. However, upon verification, it was discovered that two of these new references also did not exist. That means they already use AI and shoot themselves. Okay, and then they go again use AI to replace the 38 with 13, and that 13 also got two fake. Again, AI. So once you get slapped, you need to wake up ready lah, but don't be, a complete idiot like this. All right. So the response of the authors was consequently deemed as unsatisfactory, as the editors have lost confidence, so they retract the paper. So okay, so that is how bad it looks like. Even the full explanation is given here. So you guys must be very, very, very careful in dealing with this kind of situation, because this is a permanent black mark in the entire research career. Okay, if they Google you up, they can easily see this already. Okay, retracted. Retracted in scientific community is a big no-no. Okay, and if the reason like what Miss Anis here said, instrument, they'll say it's instrument here. So they'll be like, okay, like instrument only, nothing much. Okay, so they won't be bothered. So from here, authors used AI. This one hardcore AI, but no thorough check of citations and content. Okay, that was a very good question also. How about the reviewer? Don't they impacted too? No, they don't. Unfortunately, if you ask me, the journal and the reviewer must be impacted. But now they're putting their public shaming these authors and their institutions because they don't want to be kicked out from Scopus and Web of Science, because it's their mistake also. And this is a very good journal, as Totem, Science of Total Environment. In short, we call it Totem. Okay, it's a very good journal, and it's very, very embarrassing for them. So for them to not get, last time happened, Elsevier Helion also did the same mistake. Eventually, Elsevier Helion got kicked out from Web of Science. Okay, now it's only Scopus index, no more Web of Science. So now Helion also Elsevier lah. So that's why they got very worried. Now they go very drastic. They do public humiliation like this. They report to the university. They report to Scopus Web of Science so that they don't get screwed. Okay. So paper accepted and published after various authors reported of its fake content. Paper was investigated. Okay, how? Okay, let me ask you all this one question. This is the interesting part. This paper got published already, right? How did the journal knew that something is wrong? The paper had a lot of fake information. How? What do you guys think? Because reviewer went through already. Reviewer never found out that, there's fake citation, okay, fake information. Editors will never find out because they got no time. Okay, they just look at it only. So how come people found out? The readers might have complained when citing it. Okay, report by the reader. If already published with fake citation, can revise the reference, rewrite and republish. They gave the chance. They gave the chance, but they cannot because you know why or not. Okay, there are two questions here I'm going to ask you. Okay, first question: what you guys are said true? Other people are reading it. Thousands and thousands of people will be reading your paper to cite. So when they go through, people, especially people like me, when we go through each and every sentence, we go through the citation because we want to, when we do snowballing, when you do snowballing, you can easily find out these are fake. Let's say a statement here, you open up, you check out the paper is there, but you try to read, you cannot find. You just control F, few words, few keywords, you control F. You know already something is wrong. You will know for sure something is wrong. Okay, so that is the first thing. So basically, when you use AI, okay, when you use AI to write a thesis, okay, or proposal, entirety lah, okay, you just prompt and paste everything, and then that eventually will become your publication. All the fakeness inside will become a publication. Okay, this one maybe you dah lepas proposal defense ke, you lepas viva ke, and so on. Okay, this publication will forever stay in public domain. It will be there for public domain forever. Okay, forever and ever. It will never go out. So this publication will be read by other researchers. Okay, PhD students, academicians, and so on and so forth. Maybe certain paper supervisor will say, see, they already solved the problem. Why you cannot solve? Go and find a problem from this paper. My supervisor, you always will give me paper. He'll say, go read this paper. Why you never read this paper yet? So maybe that could have pissed off the students. They were seen, they would have scrutinized the paper, see where the problem coming from, because probably they never heard of the problem or they never solved the problem before. They couldn't solve the problem. Okay, because everything fake, why? So they have created a fake problem out of this whole paper. So they found out what they do. Once they know, okay, there is something wrong with the paper, they will report to the journal. Okay, they'll report to the journal and some will go to the extent report to Scopus also, indexing. You can report, you can report. Okay, Scopus. So what they will do, they will immediately take action. Okay, so that is the consequence lah. All right, that's the consequence. So even if for bachelor students, we forget them lah. They are not going to, publish their work most likely lah. Okay, so even they use prompt and paste everything. Nothing to be done lah. Bachelor students are done. Okay, we forget them. But masters and PhD, we have to publish. Your work is going to go into public domain. Okay, and that too very high impact public domain. Who are 80% of them are crazy like us. Okay, researchers right, crazy like us. We want everything to be perfect. Okay, that's how we are trained. So they, if not perfect, then they report lah. So they report. Then from there, the journal will also report back to universities because they want to make sure that these papers are not added as part of QS ranking. Okay, if the universities are unaware, they will go and include that as part of their ranking because they will have their impact calculation lah. Okay, for QS ranking or THE ranking, Times Higher Education ranking. Scopus is for QS lah. So that's why journal have to inform the university. So you must be very, very careful in this manner. Okay, so that is how a person can get caught. Okay, now then this is the first question. Next question is, I have, these are questions I ask myself, why? Then I realize, okay, 38 citations, like what Jesslyn told here, if already published with fake citation, can revise the references and rewrite and republish. Okay, this paper now cannot be republished. You cannot redo this paper anymore. It's already retracted and it stays online forever. Okay, that why they do that? They don't want you to go and publish this work elsewhere. And they want to do public humiliation. So you don't repeat this mistake. And it's a lesson for other authors lah. Okay. So my question is, why the 38 citations couldn't be replaced with the 13 citations? Why there was still fake information? This is very important ground for us to understand before we go into the world of AI. Okay, we need to understand this very, very carefully. Okay, so from 38 citations, why the 13 couldn't 100% replace it? Why they were still fake? Why this information couldn't be replaced? What do you guys think? If we found a paper that has Dr. Nurul, if we found a paper that has a similar situation which cannot access their reference, how to report it? Doctor, you can write to the editor directly, okay, and then you can also write to Scopus. Okay, later I'll give you the Scopus email. You can also report to that right after this, okay? So tell me, why couldn't we perfectly replace the 38 citations? So Fatin said can't support their claims and results. Try. Some of you try to think, figure out what is the problem behind this. Why? Why these 38 citations, okay, either fake, even though fake, it already got information in the paper, the citations are already there. So example, let me ask the question a bit more clearer. So let's say this is the paper again. Okay, so let's say we're looking at this paper, and then okay, so either let me go to the literature part lah, better. Okay, so let's say here, this content, let's say this citation is fake. Okay, these citations are fake. But this content should have came from somewhere, right? Or this content should have came from somewhere, right? It cannot be just created like that, right? So where did this content came from? Okay, if the citations are fake. First question. Second question, if the citations are true, then the content is fake. Okay, let's say if the content is fake, then where did the content came from? Why we couldn't find the source of the content and then replace the citation? Okay. Very good, Utibe. That is the right answer. Because either the citations are, let's say the citations are fake, but the content here given by AI is totally non-existent. It is artificially created. Let's say the first say the existing literature has explored the connection among GTI with CO2, CO2T, CO2 emission selected Asian developing countries. Nevertheless, mutual effect, blah, 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 blah. This is not true at all. This is literally, imagine a drug addict, okay, a smart drug addict, talking, blubbering, okay, after taking drugs, right? Same thing. Nothing of that is true. It's all created artificially. That's why they cannot replace. That's why the 13, even the 13, they would have struggled a lot to replace because they would have known, oh shit, all of these are fake. Okay, that's why the two got caught. Okay, they cannot really replace anymore. All right, so this is something that you guys need to understand. This is called AI hallucination. The information is artificially created. Okay, either the references are artificially created and the content of the references are artificially created, or if the citation is true, then the content is artificially created. So there are two categories here. Either reference and the content artificially created, or the reference is true, but the content is artificially created. Two categories. Okay, if I'm confusing you, I'm sorry. It is a very confusing topic. Okay, so this is not the first case. This is Web of Science. Then we have one more, even more bigger case is this. Okay, this was HKU. This was Springer. Okay, this was, the previous one was Elsevier. This was Springer, Hong Kong University. Number one university in Asia. The professor resigned and the PhD student got kicked out from a program. Okay, University of Hong Kong probes non-existent AI-generated references in paper. Prof says content not fabricated. But after the investigation, the fellow also resigned. Okay, he stepped down from his position. Okay, so this is another, these are the two main event lah. Okay, middle of last year to end of last year. These were the main, many papers extracted, but this got a lot of public attention. This paper, I think, got more than 10 or 20,000 shares on threads. Okay, this particular issue. Okay, it was a very big thing in China and Hong Kong and Taiwan and so on. Okay, So will the author misunderstand the content of the paper and self-adding the linkage of the story and end up wrong content? Why fake content cannot be tracked by a reviewer? Because they don't read, because they don't care. They just prompt and paste only, that's it. Okay, so if any of you are just prompting and pasting, that could be what you guys will be getting into. So be very, very careful. Lah. So this is case study 2, AI usage and retraction. These are the reasons why journals are getting crazier and crazier day by day. Okay. So due to this, everything is tightening. Okay, everything is tightening. Now, this is another important matter that I need to disclose. Case study 3. Okay, these are all, we know this because we are actively participating. Okay, this is also one of my client got accepted, systematic review. Okay, I think Scopus, I think this was Scopus Q3 or Q2, either one of it. Okay, so I already hide the title lah. We don't want to reveal the title. Okay, so we consulted this journal and received acceptance very, very fast within 3 months and minor revision. Okay, so and we check in Scopus.com. Okay, we checked in Scopus.com. The journal is still Scopus. So it is still indexed in Scopus as of 2026. It's still in Scopus. So let me ask you all a question. You submit a paper, okay, it went through, and then the first said has been accepted, immediately has been accepted with minor revision, okay, and the article, sorry, this was last year paper, but still it's Scopus index lah. This was towards last year, end of last year. The article is scheduled for inclusion in upcoming 2025 issue. Okay, so what would you do? Will you take the paper? Because 3 months only, no, and one minor revision. That means the paper must be superbly done, right? Okay, so we were very proud. We were like, okay, the coaching, we did quite good. The outcome is very, very good. So what would you guys do after this? Is the result acceptable? Will you guys pay 1,000 USD in 3 months acceptance and proceed with the journal? Because it's still Scopus indexed. What would you guys do? Pay? Of course pay lah. Scopus kan? Betul tak? Correct or not? Is Scopus still Scopus indexed? And you already got the acceptance ready. One publication done, systematic review, one publication requirement fulfilled ready. So wouldn't you pay and take it? Check the precious papers on this journal, ask for APC funding, okay? No, it's not about APC. APC, we leave it, okay? Let's say you got money at hand now. Your supervisor gave you 1,000 USD ready, okay? Your supervisor gave you 1,000 USD, you have the money. Forget about the money. Will you pay and accept it or not? In 3 months, listen my keyword, in 3 months, the paper got revision, done, accepted ready, minor revision only. No major revision, nothing. There's red flag in the acceptance. Too fast. Nope. Okay. The underlying Scopus ruling, the unsaid rules now, they want Scopus journals to review a paper for minimum 6 months. Okay. These unsaid rules. They don't tell you out. Okay. But this one we know internally lah. All right. 6 months minimum. They want the paper to be reviewed. That's why I always tell it takes 6 months to 1.5 years for paper to get accepted. All right. Because they want the journal to go through proper peer review process. Scopus don't want them to simply do this kind of bulldozing lah. Bulldozing, never send to reviewer or just send to their friends, just get minor revision just to collect the money fast. They want the peer review to really go through rigorous process. So they push the journal to spend 6 months. You find proper reviewer, you make sure the peer review is done properly. Okay, so they give like a stipulated timeline lah to the journal editors. Okay. How do I know which journals met UPM grade requirement? What is the difference between Scopus Web of Science? Okay, Scopus Web of Science, I'll explain in a while. Okay, so what we did, the moment 3 months already, I know something is wrong this journal. Okay, this is from my experience. So that's why I'm sharing this with you guys, so guys don't get conned, don't get screwed in the process. All right. So experienced people like me, we will know this something is wrong. Okay. So it's easy for me. I could have just told the client, okay, paper accepted ready. You also check paper accepted. So go ahead and pay and done lah. Okay, you take it to your supervisor lah. So Easy for me because my part done already. I still Scopus index, but I don't want to do that. All right. I don't want to do that because I know something is really wrong. So what we did, good news, right? No, because it's too soon. Too soon. So what we did, we went for volume-centric analysis. We opened up Scopus. We type in this journal, Edelweiss Applied Science and Technology Journal. We looked at the volume. The volume suddenly increased in the last 2 years. From 20 papers per issue, it became 200, 150, 100. That means they're making 4 or 5 times the money. Something is wrong. Okay. That is not right. That is a very bad pattern to look at. So we email Scopus as suspected. Journal is under re-evaluation. This is where you email, Scopus support at elsevier.com. Okay, so anytime you are not sure, you want to check, you email here. Scopus support at elsevier.com. Right? So I asked the FLIRS what happened, this particular journal indexing. And the FLIRS said they replied, thank you for contacting Scopus and apologies for the delayed response. Upon checking the title, Edelweiss Applied Science Technology is being re-evaluated. But they won't tell you, they won't tell you in Scopus website that this stupid journal is being re-evaluated. That's the problem with Scopus. You will never see the status re-evaluation. You will see the year, yes, still indexed or discontinued. Only two only. One, it will show until the recent year, 2025, 2026, or it will show discontinued since when. It's only two status only. It will never show re-evaluation. So you also don't know lah. So once the journal already knows, re-evaluation takes about 6 to 8 months, okay, for a Scopus, and 98% of the time it will be kicked out. And 98% it will be kicked out from Scopus. So um, about 6 to 8 months. They say 3 months, but usually it takes about 6 to 8 months. Okay. Um, sorry. So, what happens is when the journal already know, okay, I'm getting reevaluated, and after I get reevaluated, if I get kicked out, embargo 5 years. That means I cannot come back into Scopus for 5 years. So what they will do, they will pump maximum. They will as much as they can to make all the money because 1,000 USD per paper. They only publish 20 or 30 per issue. Now suddenly the volume went up to 150, 200. So you can imagine it's 5 times, 6 times the money. So they'll collect all the money before the journal gets kicked out. So the moment you know the journal is not being like this one, your paper, even though accepted, you paid already, it won't be added to Scopus, Okay, so you can read here. It's being re-evaluated by Scopus, Content Selection Advisory Board, which may take up to 3 months to complete. As per Scopus policy, no missing content will be added until the review is complete. That means your paper accepted, you paid also won't be added. And 98% will be kicked out. So your paper will be forever won't be added to Scopus, but will be already online in the journal website, which means your paper is screwed. Your $1,000 burnt. They won't give you back the money. Okay, many cases like that happened before. So don't go for fast acceptance. The moment it is fast, something is wrong. This is what I always tell my students. Okay, our coaching students. This is what I'll tell them. Don't go fast. Even lecturers also will tell them take time. It takes time. The longer it takes, I won't say it takes about 2 years, 3 years lah for Scopus lah. But the longer it takes, the better the outcome will be. So have patience. So that's why start early. Okay, so that's how you check lah. So next time if you have any issues, you're not sure, email them. Scopus support@elsevier.com. Okay. If the Scopus is now show 2025, not 2020, so better not publish. You can email them and ask. Sometimes they won't update that quickly because now only March. It will take about 6 to sometimes 8 months to update. All right. That means somewhere mid or towards end of the year only you'll see the item 2026. It takes time sometimes for certain journals lah. So you can email them and ask. Okay. What if the journal has 12 issues per year? Is it acceptable for the... Yeah, it's okay. 12 issues. What I'm telling is, kalau ada 12 issues kan, you got 12 issues. Let's say from 3, 4 years ago, you see every issue got 20, 20, 20. You can check in scopus.com. 25, 30, 40, 25, 30, 42. So you know this range is good. The addition is only about 10 to 15%. That is acceptable. Suddenly, if you see 20, 30, 150, 120, 200, 300 papers. That one wrong lah. Something is really wrong lah. Okay. Those are the metric you should not follow. Okay. You should definitely run away. Okay. How to know I just explained the volume of the journal. Okay. From the volume of the journal, you can know. You need to go to scopus.com to find out the volume. How slow? This paper, okay, although kicked out, took us 1 year, 4 months. Okay, some takes 1 year, 5 months, some takes 11 months, some takes about 8 months, some takes about yeah, around that. Normally, I'll say about 6 months to 1.5 years lah. Okay. So better ask Scopus support, not library UPM. Yeah, better ask Scopus support. Library UPM won't know the update. These are Scopus internal information. Okay, library won't know. Okay. All right. So I hope that is clear. So save your money, and more important than that, save your paper. Don't go for quick publication. All right. Don't simply generate from AI and send. Everything you're digging your own grave. So be very, very careful. Today, if you not get caught now, but you need to understand your paper is forever out there. This incident of finding out fake information and retraction can happen 3 years from now, 5 years from now. By that time, you're probably in a good position already. Maybe you're already out there working already. If university finds out, they can even retract your degree. So you must be very, very, because part of your requirement to graduate is your Scopus paper. So if they really want to press on like the HKU, Hong Kong University, the student got kicked out from the program. So it's okay if you got kicked out, but it's worse if you got PhD or masters and then they retract your degree also. So be very, very careful. All right, be very, very careful. Okay, so now let's go to fundamentals. All right, so I've already given you very important case studies that many people don't know in this world. Okay, so pick this up, use it for your own benefit, and publish well in the process lah. All right. So how to publish in high impact journal? Very important, do good research. Okay, not AI generated research. Do proper research with proper research gap. Okay, use AI to assist you, not to replace your thinking ability. Okay, formulate an important RORQ. Okay, make sure it's important, adding new value. Okay, do not work alone. Collaboration is good in papers. Okay, very good. Solid research methodology will result in amazing results. Okay, so these ones, if you have good Q1, Q2 candidates. Okay, if your methodology is rather weak, Q3, Q4. Okay. If you don't have results, no methodology, go for scoping review, SLR review. This one can go up to Q1 all the way to Q4. Possible. Okay, possible. Solid writing, okay, proofreading doesn't really matter now lah. Okay, so solid writing is very, very important. The more you use AI, the more easier nowadays gets rejected because of what is called, what is the term? Monotonous. Okay, because all the write-ups are being monotonous. Same kind of alphabet, same kind of board writing. There is no personality to the writing anymore. Okay, so we call that monotonous. The more monotonous you become, the more easily your paper will be kicked out because everything will sound the same. You and the 2,000 more papers that are being submitted will sound the same. Editor will get tired. Reviewer get tired. They'll be like, why the hell got so many jargons, so many things sounding the same only across all these papers? That's why at the editor's desk itself, paper gets rejected nowadays. Sounds very monotonous. There is no originality to your writing. There is no personal touch to your writing. Okay, how to differentiate scoping SLR? Okay, that part is not in this class. You need to go and watch my replay. Okay, on YouTube. All right, so I hope that is clear. Don't be monotonous. Have your personal touch. Okay, is my site can be considered two publication pieces to do? Depends on your university. If UPM accepts my site, then okay lah. Do UPM accept to my site for PhD? Do anyone know the answer? Some people say no, some people say yes. So I think better go and find out from one my site and one Scopus Web of Science. Okay, there you go. That is the answer. But to let you know, most my sites are Scopus also. most my sites are Scopus also. So it's more or less the same. It's more or less the same. All right. So so in a paper, in order to get it accepted, very, very important factor in a paper that, people, reviewers look forward to, editors look forward to, okay, must be an informative paper with take-home message. Okay, must be an informative paper. All right, there must be something new that they can take back home, that they can, see, oh, wow, I didn't know this. Okay, if you just want to write a review paper, you take 10 or 20 literature, you take it and then you put into the any AI tools, you ask the fellow to summarize, you just copy and paste. That is not review. That is paper summary. You never publish that in this lifetime. Okay. So remember that lah. So well-structured, perfect flow important, careless, mistake, and bad language. Okay, very, very bad language. Nowadays, if the language is a bit so-so, it's still okay. They accept because they know you're not using AI. There's certain advantage to that, but not very bad language lah. And you only have one opportunity to convince your editor. So use that wisely. Write good cover letter and have a lot of patience. A lot of patience. Okay. So this is the process of how editorial works. Okay, how a journal works. For those who thinks why it takes so long, nowadays many papers gets rejected. The moment you submit at editor's desk here itself, it gets rejected. How many of you here have the same problem? Submit, reject. Never go to reviewers. Keep submitting, keep rejecting. How many of you are facing the same problem here? Open up, tell me, then I'll know how experienced you guys are. Most of the times, me, okay, you guys are all. How many of you? Submit, reject, submit, reject. Okay. Um, there are two reasons to that. Okay. Could be, okay, the rejection reason, I'll tell you at the end. I have a slide just for that. If you go through that slides, if you try to do some corrective action on that front, on that end, usually it'll have higher chances. Okay. You can aim for low Q first. That's fine. Okay. So wait until the end. I'll give you that slide. So in case if you can cross the editor, our main goal nowadays when we coach students, cross the editor. Once you cross the editor, 90% of the time we accept it. Okay, cross the editor first. Then it'll be sent to reviewer will assess, and then the reviewers will give comments, and then you will be assessed by editors. And then based on that, they will make a decision to send for revision or reject or accept as it is. Okay. So these are the three decisions lah that will come up. Okay. All right. So this is how the whole process works. But nowadays, a lot of papers gets rejected here. Okay, because the fundamental reason is AI. Okay, to be honest, when I talk to the editors, the fundamental reasons are AI because they cannot find the difference. Very monotonous. That's what they say, the word monotonous. They are tired of reading the same thing over, the same jargons, the same style of writing. There is no uniqueness. Okay, and some papers obviously no novelty lah. Okay. So how long an acceptance can take? This one, someone asked the question earlier, right? I got two examples here. Both examples we worked on. Okay, we coached and consulted. This is, this is a paper from University of Warwick. Okay, I think top five now. Top five in the UK. Dr. Nasir already completed the day. Okay, so from his thesis, after we coach his thesis and everything, we use 0% AI. We don't use AI at all because I don't want to have fake information that goes untraced. So I'm very worried of that. I'm a bit paranoid, a bit paranoid. Because the amount of, if you are sitting in my position, if you see daily basis, students are failing, students are getting kicked out, students are getting paper retracted, all because of AI, you'll be very paranoid as well. Okay, you're sitting on the other end of the spectrum. You don't see the amount of problems that I see lah. Okay, so here the publication, the paper was very strong. Okay, it's a protocol paper, Q2, impact factor 1.7, SCIE Web of Science. Okay, conceptual review, medical. Acceptance in 9 months only. Okay, that's considered very fast. Three revisions, one submission, a single submission. Okay, this one we coach lah from the beginning until the end. Then this is a student from Taylor's finished Viva already now, just finished last month. Okay, her chapters 1 to 3 and chapters 4 and 5. Recently, we also conducted chapter 4 and 5. We did all the analysis, everything. But chapter 1 to 3, we only coach. Okay, after she did all the writing, she's a very hardworking person. She wanted to take the paper and go for journal writing. She wanted to write everything on her own and submit and so on. We encouraged that. We're very good. Okay, very good. This is the topic of discussion. This is what we're talking about today. Okay. So, this is the process. Once she started submitting, okay, took about acceptance in 1 year and 6 months. Okay, 1 year and 6 months. Why? This is the problem that you guys need to very much avoid. Okay, when you are writing the paper, the papers that you are submitting to. Okay, where you are submitting to. Very, very important. The paper was good. The paper was not very bad. But she was submitting to AI recommended journals, which has very, very high impact factor. I'll show you an example later. Very high impact factor. So, a lot of rejections. Okay, from 2022, reject. Then we started the coaching. We started looking into the paper, what went wrong, and so on. And then we recommended to submit to this journal, lah. Okay, Taylor and Francis, Small Enterprise Research. It's a Scopus Q2 journal, not full-fledged SSCI. So there is a huge difference. The journal quality between SSCI and ESCI, their requirements are huge. There's huge difference. Okay, so that's why we recommend if a paper is okay, not great, but also a new idea, better to go for ESCI. Okay, don't go for SSCI. Go for Scopus lah. Good Scopus. Okay. So SSCI versus ESCI, SSCI, SCIE, AHCI. Okay, under Web of Science. Okay, there is SSCI, there is AHCI, there is SCIE. Okay, and then there is ESCI. All right, this is why it's important to show all this. Okay, no point I go straight away jump into writing journal. Okay, without you guys know all these nuances. What is the actual differences here? Because the motto today is make sure you guys get a paper accepted. All right. So SSCI is Social Science Citation Index. AHCI, apologize for my writing. Arts and Humanities Science Citation Index. Okay. Science, SCIE. This is Science Citation Index Expanded. So if you're from business management, information system, and so on, you go to SSCI. If you're from linguistic, language, geographic, and so on, you go into HCI. If you're from medical, like this one, medical here, engineering, you go into SCIE. Okay, ESCI is a journal that across the board, across the subject, but it is still under evaluation. Okay, to go into one of these. Okay, so usually they will be a bit more straightforward compared to the rest. Okay, so I hope that part is clear. Scopus only got one type only. There is no so many types. Scopus only one type only. Okay, just now a student asked, what is the difference? The difference between them, Web of Science is like Ferrari, Scopus like BMW. Okay, BMW now a lot of people can buy. Ferrari still very little people can buy, right? That is the difference. Okay, the quality here is very, very high compared to Scopus. Okay, that is simplest difference lah. So the moral of the story here is, if you don't want to spend 1 year, 6 months to accept, submit the paper, get acceptance, don't take too long. I mean, don't choose the wrong journal. Okay, you must really read and understand and choose the right journal. ESCI, yeah. Most universities won't pay for ESCI. Okay, so now going into that topic, okay, on the journal, how to find the most appropriate journal. Okay, how to find the most appropriate journal to submit your paper. All right, how to know that? The best technique would be backward snowballing. Okay, and forward snowballing lah. So let's say you are writing a paper now. You got many citations. Okay, look at your citations. That is backward snowballing. Look at your citations. From the citations, you can know these are the journals you can submit to. Potential journals you can submit to. Forward snowballing, okay, is when you look at the citations, right? From the citations, okay, let me pick out a paper lah. Do I have any papers opened here? Here got, okay. Okay, so let's say this example again. Okay, this is the paper, right? So this is backward snowballing. So from these references here, okay, you can pick and choose the right journal that you want to submit to. From here itself, you will know already. Okay. Next thing, let's say you want to do forward snowballing. You can you can take this paper, go to Google Scholar, paste this paper there. Then you can click the button cited by. That is forward snowballing. You go to the future. Okay, you go to the future. So based on that, you can see, okay, these are all the journals that are related. That means I can submit to all these journals, provided you check the impact factor and everything. Okay. So this is a very, very easy technique. The next technique is using AI. Okay, using AI to find out, but yeah, you need to do a bit more extra work lah. All right. So I did a funnel prompting. Okay, this is called funnel prompting. That means you go from broad and you narrow down the prompting style. So first question I asked: do you think it's a good idea to publish journal during PhD? Okay, do you think it's a good idea to publish journal during PhD? Okay, so then the fella give me all these answers, lah, which is not really important. I just want to funnel down the thought process. Okay, so next I tell the fella, so if I'm writing a paper on executive coaching, family business, succession planning, where can I publish it? Okay, so if I'm writing a paper, yeah, cannot ask. If you ask straight to the point, sometimes you don't get the right answer. You won't get the depthness. So normally I'll go funnel, I go layer by layer. It's how you ask the questions, lah. All right. So if I'm writing a paper on executive coaching, family business, succession planning, where can I publish it? So then they'll give me all this journal listing, lah. Okay, all this. So I open the first journal, family business review, impact factor 5.6. Okay. This is considered very high impact factor. Okay, it's Q1. I would say it's probably top 15 journals. Web of Science, this is Web of Science, SSCI. Okay, 100% SSCI. So I don't want it. Okay, because I don't want it because then definitely will get rejected lah. Definitely will get rejected. 100% will get rejected because the paper is not strong enough for that. Okay, then what I did, this one also same, Journal of Business Venturing also, if I open up here, Journal of Business Venturing, also same. Impact factor even more difficult, 8.9. This is confirmed top 10 journal. Okay, or maybe top 15 also, 8.9 impact factor. So very, very high. Okay, this is also Web of Science, SSCI. Okay, if you don't know what is impact factor, I would suggest you to have a read. What is Scopus user site score? Web of Science user impact factor. This is your citation analysis. How strong is a journal? Okay, so the higher it is, the stronger it becomes. So both also very high impact. So cannot. So if you guys are searching for a journal using AI where to publish, if you don't know these basics, then what you will do, you'll just format and submit, right? So that's where you'll get rejected, 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 rejected. That's why many people commented earlier, I rejected all the time. This is the problem. You don't know where you're submitting to. You don't know what you have, the quality of what you have versus where you're submitting to. Okay, it's like you have 10,000 ringgit in the bank and then you go to Ferrari showroom. Okay, you cannot buy. You don't have enough money to buy that. So with 10,000 ringgit down payment, you must only go to Porodua or maybe Honda or Toyota showroom. No point going to Ferrari. Even BMW is a bit high. Okay, so you need to know your strength at hand before you go and submit to a journal. So then what I did, I prompt again. Okay, the one shared above seems to be very high impact. Okay. Do you have any journal index in Scopus only? Remember this, listen to this very carefully. I have mentioned very clearly to the fella. The one shared above seems to be very high impact. Do you have any journal index in Scopus only? So then the fella give me Journal of Family Business Strategy. So I go and open up here, Journal of Business Strategy. Is this Scopus only or Web of Science also? What do you guys think? UPM will pay for Frontiers? I don't think so. Frontiers and MDP, I don't think they will pay. It is Web of Science also, right? No, any AI platform cannot access Scopus or Web of Science unless it's Scopus AI lah. Scopus AI can access Scopus database lah. Nothing else can access. Okay, so obviously it's still Web of Science. If you're not giving me the right information, this is what we call hallucination. Okay, fake information. So I tried again. Okay, I tried again. The above are still Web of Science indexed. I only want journals that are indexed by Scopus, not Web of Science. As usual, AI's confidence level is different. Okay, I see focusing specifically on journals indexed by only in Scopus, not Web of Science, can help you target different set of academic publication. Here are some index in Scopus. Then the flag give me this. Okay, this whole bunch of lists. Journal of Family Business Management. I take one example. Okay, Journal of Family Business Management, which is under Emerald. Is this Web of Science and Scopus or Scopus only? Exactly. So If you go, this is what I always tell. When you go and ask information from AI, you must be smarter than AI, or at least you must know more than AI. If you, your own self, don't know the difference between Web of Science, Scopus, you don't know what is impact factor, you don't know what is site score, and then you go and ask the flow for general suggestion, the flow will just vomit out everything. This is what we call fake information, hallucination. The flow don't know because the flow cannot access most of the research information. Scopus, Web of Science, everything is behind paid wall. You cannot get the full info. You can get because you use university access lah, but AI cannot. Okay, so that's why I always repeat myself when someone asks me how to use AI efficiently, right? You can use AI efficiently, but you must know what you need. Okay, if you don't know what you need, then you'll end up like, that's why I showed this example lah. Okay, that is why I showed this example. How much of time wasted? By right, if you find the right journal, it takes exactly 11 months only to get acceptance. Okay, you will save about 7 months of your time. Okay, so you wouldn't have wasted 7 months doing this. Submitting, rejecting, and so on. Okay, so that part is clear. Now we are going to the third section. Okay, this is very, very crucial part. Any questions so far? Any questions so far? In your opinion, why do the fake references have complete information, author's name, title, publication here? Is it an AI hallucination? Yeah. The fake references are so complete because AI is very smart. Okay. So let me tell you guys. Okay, this one very important to understand. I am not telling don't use AI. Okay, AI is like how you know at the present moment. AI is like a friend of yours or a child of yours. If you're not married, then it's a friend of yours lah. Okay, a child of yours who is very, very smart but loves to create story. So when the child goes to school and comes back, right? The fellow comes and tell, oh, today someone hit me, someone slapped me, someone scolded me, and so on. When you go to school and ask, not such thing never happened. You must treat it like that. So then you from there you will learn that okay, this child is actually very smart and create stories, okay, in the mind, but actually most of it not true. So deal with care. Go through the information given, true or not. But for that, you must know what you need lah. You must know the basic fundamentals. You cannot skip the fundamentals. All right. You must know how to do research, how to write problem statement, how to write. That is why I give templates. Now you know why I give templates to at least inform all of you. This is how it should be. Okay, not whatever AI is giving. All right. So on the issue of fast publication, what is your take on MDPI, which has status Q1? I don't really encourage MDPI or frontiers unless you are already very, very much into, you need to graduate, you have no choice, then you submit lah. It is still a Scopus Web of Science, but it is still predatory also. Okay, it's in the gray area. So I prefer not to lah. That is last resort. Okay, last resort. All right. So, how long is suitable accepted period? 6 months to 1.5 years, always. Okay. So now let's get into this. Shall we take five? Let's take 5 minutes break lah. Then we start this. So you guys, I know most of you are fasting. Okay, so take a bit of break. 5 minutes time, we'll come back and then we will continue this. Okay, so catch your breath a bit lah. All right. So why predatory journal is Web of Science and Scopus? Because money. The answer is money. Everything is money. All right, they want more money. Predatory, single reason why predatory exists is because of money. APC. The more they publish, the more they can make. Plus one good journal, very good journal. Okay, not one plus one. Very good journal. Very difficult to publish also. Okay. So, okay, guys, let's take 5 minutes break. We come back, catch a breather. We come back, then we go through this. Okay. Okay, welcome back. Let's continue. All right, so now we're going to go into how to quickly find research gap for a very high impact paper. Okay, how to do that process very quickly. All right. So I'm going to use AI plus Boolean research gap lah. Okay, Boolean operators to quickly find research gap. Okay, this I'm sharing for the very first time. Okay, I've never shared this before. Or before that, for you guys to find um, status of journal scan, whether it's Web of Science or not, or Scopus or not, you can, for Scopus, you can use simagogr.com, okay? Or you can use scopus.com. You can use both. Tapi, simagogr.com is a bit outdated, all right? It's not as new as scopus.com, all right? But scopus.com, you cannot see quartile or lah. Simago, you can see, okay? For Web of Science, you can use this, MJL, Cladivate. This will tell you the impact factor. No, it won't tell you the impact factor. It will tell you the indexing. Okay, but if you want the full information, like the ranking, the impact factor, everything, you need to use JCR, Journal Citation Ranking. That is paid. Scopus.com and JCR both are paid. Okay, so if your university has access, then you can log in and check lah. Otherwise, these are the two free resources. Okay, that you can use for free lah. Okay, so now let's get into ChatGPT 5.2 thinking model. All right, very advanced model. I think the most advanced model at the moment. All right. So what I do here is I want to find out phrases, research gap phrases that I can quickly go to Google Scholar and pick up the journals that I want to extract the gaps. Okay, very quickly. So this is how I prompt. In order to find research gaps in any research field, what are the common phrases used in peer-reviewed papers that can help during a searching process? Okay. The examples that I already have are gap in the literature and more studies are required. Why I give example? Because I want the floor to understand what exactly I want. This is the trick lah. Okay. If you want to get what you want from AI, it's better to give examples also. Okay, that way the fellow know what you want. All right. So again, in order to find research gaps in any research field, what are the common phrases used in peer review papers that can help during a searching process? So the fellow give me all these phrases. These are all from real papers, but mostly open access papers lah. Open access papers that AI already trained. So gap in the literature, literature gap, research gap, gap remains, addresses a gap, fill this gap. Got many lah. Okay, all of these you can use to quickly find. So rather than you upload the paper, okay, and ask the floor to find the gap for you, which will lead to fake information and a lot of hallucination, you can take the phrases, go and find it yourself. That's why I say use AI. The right way of using AI, this is the right way. Okay, don't rely too much on the flood, then you'll get a lot of fake information, right? So you take all this, okay, you go to Google Scholar. Why Google Scholar? Because Google Scholar is the most comprehensive database in the world, undeniable. Every journal created in this world, academic journal, the first indexing they will do is Google Scholar. And Google Scholar can come and crawl through the whole journal, and get all the information for free. Okay, although the flow won't give you the PDF most of the time, lah, but the flow got access to the full archive, right? So what I did here is I take this first phrase, gap in the literature. Okay, I put here. All right, then these are the topic. This is the topic of my interest, lah. Okay, then I put N function. All right, I put information system. Okay, all in quotation mark, because that is one phrase. I consider that as one phrase. Okay, N, I put another N, A-N-D, and then I put firm performance. Okay, what happens, okay, this is important to understand. Now, what happens if I don't put this quotation mark? Can someone tell me what happens? Look separately, okay, they would be seen as two words. Correct. You don't want that because you want to be as precise as possible. That's why I only get 1070 results. If I don't do that, I'll get crazy amount of results. Okay, let's see what we get. If I remove this. See, 17,000 results. From 1,000, it became 17,000. You don't want that. All right. So you want it to take as a phrase, 1,000 results. Okay. So this is the exact query token that will be shared, that will be searching for. Lah. So you can see a gap in the literature, information system, firm performance, okay? Firm performance information system, gap in the literature, gap in the literature, gap in the literature. So all these papers will go directly to the gap. Okay, so then I take these three examples. Lah. So I open up the paper. Okay, this is the first paper. You just search for gap in the literature. So you will get directly to the gap. Despite the recognized importance of a strategic information system, there remains a gap in the literature, especially regarding their role in sustaining competitive advantage. There is a need for a deeper understanding of how these systems contribute to achieving a competitive advantage. If you do this, you can be 100% sure that the information is correct. Whether you want to read the rest of the papers or not, that is totally entirely up to you. Okay. If I were you, I would read. Okay, but I leave it to you. It's your personal decision. Okay. So let me repeat this step. Okay. So let me repeat again. Okay, so I prompt this. The will give me all the signals, all the stated phrase that relates directly to the gap in the paper. Okay, the phrases. So I take this one phrase only. You can take all the phrase if you want. I take this one phrase only and try. So from the phrase, I put the phrase here, gap in the literature. And this is my topic that I just want to investigate lah, for the fun of it. All right. So I put and function. And means this and this. And this must be in the paper. So gap in the literature and information system and firm performance. These three phrases must be in the paper. Then only I want the paper. If not, I don't want the paper. So the flag give me these three phrases. Doctor, isn't it the gap that the paper has already addressed? Yes, but you want to find new gap, right? So for you to find new gap, you must first take all the existing gaps. So once you take up the existing gap, then I'll tell you what to do next. All right. So from here, but that's a very good question, Wahab. That's a very good question. Very good point. All right. Okay. So from here, remember, this is not new gap. This is existing gap that the paper already solved. Then what do you do? All right. So first, these are all the sustaining competitive advantage. Sorry, close this. Sorry, close this. Okay. Need for deeper understanding how the system contribute to achieving competitive advantage. So sustain is the main. Okay, the main aim here is sustaining competitive advantage. All right. And organize, develop, and maintain competitive advantage. So next, Control F you need to do is go for limitation. So you can pick up the limitation directly. These are the limitations. All right. So you get the gap and you get the limitation. Same thing here. Go for the gap. Okay, this is the gap. And then you also go for the limitation. How to really generate a very high impact paper. Again, this is the crucial part of a high impact paper. If you do this right, you will get your high impact paper. All right, because you must make sure that the research gap is novel. Okay, so you get all the limitations here. Same goes to this paper. You can do the same process, research gap and then limitation. Then what you do next, you pick up all those information, you create a very, very simple trend analysis. Okay. From this trend analysis, you got two ways to go and do things. One, to figure out the gap yourself. Normally, every journal will provide limitation. In the conclusion, maybe the word limitation won't be there. Lah. They might use some other terminology, but every journal papers will present in one way or another, in few words maybe, on the limitation. Okay, there will be a limitation they will present. Okay. All right, so these three papers I put together. This is not a full form literature matrix. Very simple trend analysis only. Okay, so I put the paper title, I put the gap. So gaps here, address within this paper. Strategic Information System and Competitive Advantage, IS, Business Process, Innovation Performance, and Firm Performance, Accounting, Information System, Information Quality. So these are all the variables investigated in these papers. And overall, these are all the limitations here. Okay. Only Scopus database was used. SIS not explored with new technologies. Yeah, they can write future studies. That's right also. This one only covered Indian context, sampling problem, functionalities or dimension of information system can be further introduced, can be further explored. Overall methodology, again, methodology problem, not never looked into user acceptance, never looked into data security, organizational culture, and so on. So these are all the limitation, right? This is where you need to establish how you want to do next, what to do next. Okay. So what is next? You can go back to AI if you want to, all right? So you can upload all the 3 papers. Now you already know, you already know the gaps and the limitation. Again, my emphasis is always simple. You must know what is going on. All right. So upload the 3 papers. Okay. This is where the AI boundary condition starts. We call this boundary condition. Um, the limitation of AI that everyone should realize. All right. So I upload these 3 papers. I ask the from these papers for PhD level, what are the potential topic and combination of variables that can be investigated? Okay. So then the floor thought for 5 minutes. Okay. And then give me all this information. Okay. Okay. All these variables. So you got about 6 different ideas. Okay. So let me ask you guys a question. Can you use this or not? So the first said serial mediation model, strong PhD framing, confirm lah extra PhD upgrade lah this one. Okay, so can you use this or not to write your high impact paper? Use as reference only. Okay. Can anyone tell me whether we can use this or not? For UNICEF reference only. Is this a research gap that you can exploit? That you can achieve a high impact paper? Okay. We need to find out because we're not sure, right? So we go here. Very simple. Pick up. Let me push this closer. Pick up all these variables. You just do simple search only. System competence. Okay, system competence. Information quality. This is the first mediator. Second mediator, AIS effectiveness. So I take effectiveness. All right. Firm performance, which is obviously firm performance lah. Firm or business performance. Okay. Search. First thing comes up. Optimizing business performance through effective accounting information systems, role of system competence, information quality. Information quality, system effectiveness, AIS effectiveness, system competence, and business performance. So whatever the flash shared here, everything is already done in this paper. Okay, everything is already done in this paper, and basically 2024, very new paper, already published whatever AI thinking model 5.2 just proposed to you. So please do not, okay, take the variables directly from AI, okay, directly from AI and propose it. But what you can do is, okay, you can take the next step from here, all right? You can go and explore all these variables and do snowballing from here. But that is another process altogether. I'm not going to teach you guys today. Okay, but that is the snowballing that you guys need to do from here. So don't take this at face value. All right. That's why another problem of AI is the flow recycle. Okay, recycling problem. The flow recycle existing idea which is already exploited fully and give it to you and package it like a new idea. Actually, it's not new. Whatever research gap, whatever variable, whatever the flow gives you, nothing is new. If you put the words together precisely, you'll be able to find the paper easily. Okay, so remember this. So from this point onwards, you need to do a bit more work, okay, to be able to get the research gap that you want. Okay, high impact research gap. But this way, you can quickly build up this literature matrix, a very quick literature matrix, will tell you the trend that is happening in your area. Okay, but beyond this, unfortunately, okay, you have to go old school. AI won't give you the answer. Okay, you need to go old school to find out what is the right variables you want to put together. But what you can do is, again, you can pick up from here the variables that are already exploited, you can take and see how you can mix and match. Okay, how you can mix and match all this. How you can go more, actually go more, sorry, I didn't say all this. Yeah, all of this. But all of these are not new. If you Google it right, all of this won't be new. Okay? I hope that is clear. So that is the quickest way for you to go towards a high impact paper to find your own research gap. Okay? I hope that is clear. So, will AI contribute after this? This is what I've just shown. Okay, it cannot. It cannot give you a proper research gap. And also, another important factor, this is a recent student who failed, okay, proposal defense. Don't let AI draw the conceptual framework for you because AI still don't understand context. All right, it doesn't understand context. Huh? It doesn't understand context. It doesn't understand reasoning. These two things the flow don't have the capability. All right. So what happens is the flow will draw a framework like this, where you see got mediator here, but no DV after that. Okay, this became the DV, right? Literature review can also use this matrix. Definitely can. Definitely can. So from this point onwards, you can see here, forget all these variables here. Even the placement, the flow cannot get it right. The moment you put like this, you call this mediator variable, is already wrong already. Okay, this is the main reason the student failed in a proposal defense. Okay, this was, I think, last week's failure. Okay, last week, no, not last week, 2 weeks ago, the student failed. Okay, so this supposed to be a mediator somewhere here, but place here, student didn't even know, just left it there, relying 100% on AI, because the way people are selling AI, whatever the flow do is 100% correct. No, you need to know, you need to understand what is going on. That's why we are doing PhD here. Okay, so don't let the flow draw the conceptual framework for you. You need to know. From the literature matrix I taught you, you need to bring out the variables that you think novel and put them together in a conceptual framework like this. Okay? Okay. I hope that is clear. Next thing is Turnitin AI. Okay. As much as you want to use AI to write, which is fine. Okay. English is not everyone's forte. Okay. We all understand that. Okay. But to what extent you're going to use AI to write it for you, and then to humanize it, how far you can take it. All right. This is the latest release last year, August. Okay. 15 October, it became live. Okay. It became crazy. Okay, the whole Turnitin AI. February, the flow got one more release. I haven't read it yet, but February got one more release. Okay, which is another crazy release. This is the first time in the history of Turnitin AI. This is important to know for your university and also your journal, both also. Okay, the flow introduced for the first time bypasser detection. Okay, that means all the humanizing tools you see online, people keep promoting, right? Quillbot, Walter Wright, Stealth Writer, all these humanizing tools, none of it will work. None of it will work. Okay, the new bypasser detection capabilities integrated seamlessly with Turnitin AI's overall writing detection capabilities. When AI writing detection is enabled, educators can automatically check submissions for likely AI-generated content, as well as content that may have been further modified by leading bypasses. They don't call it humanizing, they call it bypasses. They want to use their own terminology. All right, so whatever humanizing tools you were using before this, take it and throw it in a bin. It will never work. Don't waste your money. Okay, the only way you can go through this is paraphrasing yourself. Okay, I've done a series of classes on YouTube teaching layer by layer paraphrasing. Okay, up to 3 to 4 rounds. One class I did was 4 rounds for one paragraph itself. So this is one of the example. I think this was a Q1 or Q2 paper, I think, example. But the student, no, this one is lecturer from Taiwan. She did not use AI to write. She used Grammarly to proofread, unfortunately. Grammarly's AI rating now goes up to 80+%. Okay, even Grammarly. So you need to go at least first round. Okay, even round one, if you paraphrase, it'll go around 60+%. Then from there, you need to go one more round of paraphrasing. Okay, then it'll go around 20 to 30%. And then you need to go to paraphrasing round 3 to get your 0% Turnitin AI. But sometimes you need to do 4 rounds also. Sometimes. Okay. So this video is on my YouTube. Okay. It's basically this and this. Okay. I've taught already how to do it. Okay. In case if you guys need help, we also provide the service. Okay. Turnitin AI total reduction under our L4 paraphrasing and proofreading because humanizing tools won't work. So this is one case of using Grammarly. Okay. 74% detected. Then eventually we paraphrased to 0% and published in scientific reports, Web of Science Q1. And this is the one from, Taiwan one was, she used ChatGPT to proofread. Okay, ChatGPT, but ChatGPT, the rating will be very high. Lah. If you use ChatGPT, the rating will be very, very high. Sometimes even 99, 100% also I've seen, right? Very high detection rate. But it takes more time to paraphrase. Lah. But eventually it got published in impact factor 13.1, Web of Science Q1. Okay, top 6 in the world. But this one all, 100% they wrote on their own. They did not use AI to write. Okay. Can Turnitin detect fake citation? I think in one of the latest release in their software, I think they can. Okay. All right. So I hope that is clear. Now going into high impact potential extraction of journals from a thesis. This is what I call hourglass theory. Okay. David Engineer for paraphrase, use tool or own doctor. Tool cannot use. Like what I've just said, humanizing tools all will increase, even down to Grammarly also will increase your Turnitin AI up to 70 to 80%. Okay, because it's all using AI to rewrite. And Turnitin AI is there to capture all those things. Okay, so paraphrasing, you have to do it on your own. Right? So now coming to hourglass theory. Okay, so this is your years 1 to 3 of your PhD, right? So this is, if your master's, you probably put what, years 1 to 2 lah, okay? You only need one paper again. So when you open up your, how about deep DL, doctor, anything that use AI, okay? Anything that use AI will eventually use transformer network, okay? The AI's brain is called transformer network, which uses artificial neural networks. Okay, everything that says AI only uses this in this world. This is 100% prone to turn it in AI. There is no any other way. Notebook LM, Deep L, DeepSeek, ChatGPT, Perplexity, what is the other one? Cloud, Grok, what else? Jenny AI, Rabbit, Consensus, Elicit, whatever that says AI, turn it in AI will go up. Grammarly, Quillbot, all these things. Okay? So I hope that is clear. Can you use AI to help you interpret the output? Hallucination. There will be massive hallucination. I've seen that before, Mac. So there's a direct question. What about data analysis? Can you use AI help you to interpret the output? Massive hallucination. Okay, massive fake information. I've seen it before. Okay. All right. So coming back to this, you can use it to interpret. Like I said, you can use it to do anything you want, provided you know what you're supposed to get. Then you can know, okay, this is lying, this is not lying, this is true, this one I need to recheck. But if you yourself don't know what you need, then you are in very, very deep risk. Okay. All right. So coming back to this, let me explain this. So first, when you open up to study, in terms of what your PhD is going to be, you're going to start up very broad, right? You start very broad, read all kind of papers, you use AI to teach you whatever lah, okay? You open up. Then eventually you narrow down. You read, you'll come to a point where I say, okay, this is what I want to do. Okay, initial reading stage and title confirmation. This is the whole process. Okay, this whole process, okay, you can create a paper called conceptual paper. Okay, either on narrative review or scoping review. It's up to you, right? So it's either narrative review or scoping review. From this, all right, from this narrowing part, okay, you will start producing your chapters. Chapter 1, 2, 3, part of your proposal. Okay. From your proposal here, you can start writing, oh, this telegram doesn't keep quiet. Okay. From these chapters 1 to 3, you can produce systematic review from your chapter 2. Okay. If you use narrative review in chapter 2, you need to redo the systematic review part. All right. Then after that, you can produce, okay, conceptual paper, you can produce more than one if you want to, but usually it's one only lah, all right? So it depends upon you. So either you can produce a conceptual paper here from your, we call this 10 pages proposal lah. This part is where you create your 10 pages proposal. You can immediately write the conceptual paper, or for better verification, You wait until you finish chapters 1 to 3, then you write your conceptual paper. Whether you use scoping, narrative, or systematic review, you can use all three. Okay, but try not to use narrative lah. Narrative don't really can go very far. Okay, narrative review. Okay, then that is chapters 1 to 3. So chapter 2, systematic review, is focusing on trend only. Okay, trend. That means roadmap. Where is the research heading towards? Okay. Protocol paper is more or less like conceptual paper. Protocol used for medical, right? Health sciences is more or less like conceptual paper. You take it from your chapters 1 to 3, right? Then chapter 4, you can produce meta-analysis paper, okay? Because by this time, you already got your data. If you want to really write a very good Q1, Q2 paper, I would, without having to use your empirical data yet, just a bit of meta-analysis at the surface, you can do that. Okay, and this will be a very good candidate for Q1, Q2. Okay, then your complete chapter 4 and 5 completed, you can write your empirical papers. As many as you want, like, as long as you have your results, you have your data. Okay, all right, so that is clear. Then from future work, okay, future work, you'll expand again. You'll open up your avenue. You'll open up to understand what is going on. All right, what you can do as your future work. So just as someone asked, right, what is the limitation? Future work is limitation, right? In a very subtle way of putting it, future work is limitation. Future work means whatever you couldn't do now. That means these are all your limitations. So normally they'll say future work, or they'll put limitation and then future work. They'll phrase it differently lah. Okay, so future work is things that you haven't done yet, you couldn't do. All right. So from there comes the scoping review paper. Right, scoping review paper if you want to write. So let me look at the questions here. Nowadays, no one can hide from AI. So you can do thousands on paraphrase, but still you will see the detection. No, not really. Not really, Mohiddin. I don't agree. Okay, if you know how to paraphrase precisely, you can get 0% on 18 AI. Guaranteed you can get. Okay, but it takes a lot of effort lah. But this statement is not true, right? Protocol, does UPM have specific requirement AI detection rates? I think it should be 20%, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, I think it should be 20%. All right, generally it's 20% lah. Okay, so those are the papers that you can extract. Any questions you guys have here? MDPI Raswa, Web of Site Scopus to get in the rank. Can I cite and believe the content from MDPI? I always encourage students, if can, don't cite lah. But if you have no choice, then cite lah. All right? It depends. MDPI and Frontiers, I think they have some very strong cable inside lah. Okay, somehow they're still indexed. Got minimum percentage needed, ask SGS. Yeah, I think it's less than 20%, I think. As long as you're, like, I think UITM is 30%, MMU is 10%, UTM is 20%. Okay, UKM is 20% also. USM 20% also. UNITA, I think, is 15 or 10%, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, empirical paper you must have from your data analysis, and then from, okay, how to write. Okay, that's the part we get into now. Okay, so before we get into that, real case studies. Okay, real case studies. These are our recent clients extracted papers from a thesis. Okay, these are 3 different theses. One from one from USM, one more from Warwick. Okay, UK. You can easily extract minimum 2 papers. Minimum 2 papers, if you ask me, is very, very easy. All right, very, very easy. So to write thesis first or paper first, I would suggest write proposal first. Okay, write proposal first. So from here, example, okay? So let's say here we got Dr. Nalini, Dr. Faris, and Dr. Nasir. So first paper that she extracted was systematic review. Okay, we coached the whole proposal, and then we coach how to extract lah. Scopus Q3, Web of Science Q4, ESCI. Okay, 11 months to publish systematic review. This is also systematic review. Okay, Scopus Q2, Cogent, 1 year, 5 months. You guys ask typically how long, right? And then for protocol paper, just someone asked about, no, systematic review, sorry, this is systematic review. Protocol paper took us, I think, 11 months. Systematic review, 9 months. For Nasir, we coached to extract 2 papers from the proposal itself, okay? But this was a groundbreaking paper, systematic review published in Scopus, Web of Science Q1, impact factor 6.0. Okay, this is a top 10 journal, SCIE, about 9 months. Okay, right after the review, then only they jump into empirical papers. Okay, this is empirical paper, full qualitative. Again, okay, this is another trick. Let's say you already submitted your systematic review to one journal. Let's say Taylor Francis, blah, blah, blah. Your empirical paper, you can submit to the same journal. They will accept it. A bit more easier to publish. Okay, a bit more easier to publish. So this is one good example of those. Okay, so this one we did that. All right. Same journal. We advise Nalini took about 1 year, 2 months, qualitative paper. This one went to a different journal. I can't remember why, but I think he wanted fast. So Scopus Q4. This one went to the same journal. Okay, but this was protocol lah. So empirical was bonus for him. Okay, this was protocol. 1 year, 4 months, Scopus, Web of Science Q3. Yeah, no, protocol, this one. Yeah, protocol. This protocol. Not 11 months, 1 year, 4 months. Okay, this one went to ESCI. So 2 papers already achieved. Anything more than this is extra. Okay, anything more than this is extra. Okay, so let me look at some questions here. Write thesis first, paper first. Empirical paper, I'll tell you in a while. One thing is, even if you write without AI, it still shows AI detection. That one, true. I have seen that problem before. But that's why they have false detection. Okay, what is the right word? False negative. False positive. Okay, Turnitin's term is false positive. All right. So where's that question lah? For Khadija, it's called false positive. So they give you margin up to 20%. Okay, but usually false positive up to 30-40% also you can argue. You can argue, right? So, Moini, if I share writings code with references, then it will use as plagiarism. Doctor, it will be a problem. Yes. Quotation or no, you can exclude quotation in Turnitin. You can. But Turnitin AI will never exclude. Turnitin you can exclude. Okay? Can I submit the whole thesis data into one paper? Can. Of course can. You're wasting it, but can. Leah, how to balance original creation usage of AI when writing and polishing journal articles. When you write on your own, it becomes original. When you copy from AI, then it becomes AI. that is the only way I can distinguish. Okay. If I want to polish my writing, but using translation tools increases the AI detection rate, how can we polish it? That one memang lah. That one 100% lah, Yuan. If you use any tools, any electronic tools now, it uses AI in the back end. Immediately, alternating AI will go up. You have to manually paraphrase it. Okay. What if the paper submitted and for 5 months review looking stage? That's normal. You can remind them lah, but don't irritate them too much lah. Okay, you can remind them. Okay, so give me about 10 more minutes. We'll finish this up. Okay, wrap it up. Then I'll answer all the other questions. Okay, so rejection at editor stage. Usually it's language, abstract not written properly, lacks novelty, excessive AI usage. Very easy to find out. Nowadays, editorial are very, very smart. They can know. They look at the excessive AI usage, just look at reference list. And the way that you write all the jargons from the write-up itself, and the reference list, they can know how much of AI you used, right? And fake content lah. Okay, the moment this is traced, they will immediately reject for fake content. They know that very well. Okay, then at reviewer stage, so these are things you need to really avoid lah. Okay, then at reviewer stage, content problem, lack of novelty, unrealistic claims. Okay, these are the most common ones. Not timely research, not very common lah. Okay, this one is what I showed you just now lah. If you take your research gap from AI, it will be 100% a recycled gap. It won't be a new gap, right? And which leads to fake content, fake citation, and so on lah. So nowadays they are very, very, very strict on this. Okay, even I am very, very surprised. Okay, my client was a victim of it also. All right, now they are very, very strict. After 1 year and 4 months, the paper went down to drain. Have to restart again all over. Okay, so those are the factors. All right, and these are all the free sample papers that I'm going to give you guys. Okay, free sample papers. Yeah, you have the recording from today. Don't worry. I'll also upload onto YouTube. Okay. So scoping review paper, this is my own paper. Okay, I co-wrote with researchers from UTP. This is now Elsevier Q1. No more MDPI, it's Elsevier. Narrative review, very good example, and systematic review also, very good example to look at. Okay, and then I'll also give you the prompt. Okay, the prompt to quickly extract out your research gap, the lines lah. Okay, the phrases. I'll give you as a matter of fact, I'll give you now itself lah, easier. I'll give you now itself so that I don't forget. The papers I'll email later, so make sure you guys register yourself. This is the prompt. Okay. You can copy and paste. If you guys haven't joined our UPM WhatsApp group, this is our UPM WhatsApp group. Make sure you guys join. All right. So a bit more to finish. This is the journal structure. Okay. I know today I won't have time to finish this. So I've already put it here. I'll send to you as notes. Okay. Just now someone asked how to do empirical paper, review paper, right? These are the structure. Okay, which I've done. So you need to follow all the steps. Okay, example, introduction, use title as the handle, use statistics to create motivation, literature to narrow funnel. Then how do you build your theory, theoretical literature development, methodology, what you have, result discussion. And then this is the review paper. This is narrative review structure. This is scoping and SLR review structure. How to structure your paper lah. So I've already simplified all of this for you guys. Later I'll email to all of you. Okay, I hope that is clear. All of this I'll email to you guys. So let me see, just now go one more. Okay, before that. Okay, this is clear. Okay, the clear difference between narrative and scoping SLR review. Okay, narrative review, if you see here, these are the differences. Okay, this thing. There is a methodology for systematic scoping review. Narrative review got no methodology. That means this is cowboy. You do whatever you want. This got process to follow, protocol to follow. That's why people like, reviewers like systematic or scoping review, not really narrative review. So don't even bother, don't waste your time. They also don't like bibliometric nowadays. Bibliometric also is not favored. That's why bibliometric nowadays you must combine with either systematic review or scoping review. Don't try not to do bibliometric standalone. This is also Scopus Insider News. Okay. Don't do bibliometric standalone. Do bibliometric with SLR or scoping review. Okay. Have that systematic review element with it. Okay. So for those who are stuck in their journey, okay, we do provide consulting and coaching. For these are all our coach PhD students. No AI, no AI, no AI, no AI, no AI, no AI, no AI. Yes, AI. Okay. Only got one UPM student here that I've shared here, and that also used 100% AI. Failed the first Viva in 2024. Okay. Miserably failed. And then last year he redid the whole thesis for 1 year and 2 months. We were coaching. Before that, we never got involved. We coached for 1 year and 2 months. Eventually, the fellow passed, Dr. Shanas passed last year, PhD in finance, UPM PBS. Okay. Had to remove up all the AI part. Okay. Then these are our coached papers, publication, and this is our AI, 13 AI solution lah. Okay, paraphrasing. But you guys can paraphrase on your own also. Okay, watch the YouTube video. I've given them very detailed lessons. Okay, so if you're stuck, do not worry. We coach with 0% AI usage, PhD proposal consultancy, Scopus Web of Science publication, proposal defense preparation, proposal defense examiner response, data analysis and interpretation, thesis to journal conversion, Viva preparation, and thesis examiner response. These are the 8 core areas that normally we coach lah. All right. So I see some papers mentions use AI for the write-up. Is it okay to use AI for write-up if you have relevant papers and accurate citations also? Very gray area. Very gray area. They ask you to declare if you use AI. This is what I've seen. The moment you declare, then it gets rejected at editor's desk. If you don't declare, you go, they find out, also they reject, like the IGI Global. So that's why you need to know how to balance. Okay. My advice always, even if you use AI to write, okay, I'm not going to stop anyone. It's your personal choice. Okay, it's your right. Okay, how much you want to use it, that is up to you. But you need to balance it up with your own writing also, so it doesn't look very bot written paper. That's my personal advice lah. All right. What is the best paraphrasing tool? There is none. Okay. The best so far, I would say, still Grammarly. But if Turnitin AI is a problem for you, then you need to rethink your strategy. But Turnitin AI is not a problem for you. I still think Grammarly is good. Okay. All right. So I hope that is clear. There is one more question at the top also. Write thesis or paper first. Yeah, I responded already, Mac. Write thesis first. Write proposal first. Okay. Always write proposal first. I heard about Authenticate. Is it more? Authenticate is Turnitin also. Authenticate is owned by Turnitin. Just that Authenticate is used mostly for journal lah. Okay. I hope that is clear. So that's it. This one we don't need to do. I think we already know what you're going to do for the next class. So that's it. We are done for today. Take an extra 10 minutes. Sorry about that. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Delete this. Oops. Oh, sorry. Okay, that's it. If you have any more questions, feel free to ask. I'm happy to answer. Okay. So Arif already shared the link. Thank you, Arif. Um, I think the whole standards of reviewing need to be reviewed regarding AI usage. Is inevitable to use AI these days. I think it's unavoidable. Okay, AI is already part of our life. Okay, just that we need to know. Okay, basically, if you ask me, the theory is simple. If you're going to use AI, you need to know what exactly you want. And when the fella give you something wrong, you need to be able to trace it out. If you know how to trace it out, like what I've taught you earlier, if you know how to trace it out, if you know how to tell this is wrong, this is right, and this is not right, this framework is wrong, this variable used before, this research gap is false, this citation is fake, this content is fake. If you know how to do that, you can master AI easily. Okay. The problem AI becomes a major problem is when the students or the academicians don't know what they want and they just copy and they just prompt and paste. That's a problem lah. Okay, so that is what I would advise. 7th March class, Dr. Shua. See you, Muhyiddin. And then thank you very much, everyone. Thanks for joining today. If there's any limitation, I only have 2 hours. So I hope, I apologize for that. Okay. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Okay. I'll be more than happy to answer. You guys are also in the UPM WhatsApp group. You can ask your questions there also. Okay. So with that, that's it. I will email you guys all the notes. See you guys in the next class lah. All right. So thank you again. Thanks, Arif. We are done.
Thank
You
you.
can take over if you want.
Yes, thank you, Doctor, and also thank you for all the participants that joining us today. I share again our attendance link and also the evaluation form to be filled up. Please fill up both of the link because we'll be sending the e-certificate. So, Doctor, we will be having the second class on April, I think.
April lah. Let me check again.
April.
Wait, kejap.
I already advertised the class on
Oh yeah,
our
22nd April.
Putra Sejarah Seminar.
Cepatnya.
Uh,
I gotta
uh,
prepare lagi.
I,
Okay, okay.
I think I already have a registration for that
Okay.
one.
Arif, too
Pre pre.
hardworking lah, Arif. Okay, all right. Thank you, Arif. Thanks for everything.
Okay,
Thanks to
thank
SGS
you.
also.
Okay,
Okay, and thank you, everyone. See you all in the next class. Okay, bye-bye. Goodbye.
thank you, Doctor.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
See you.
See you there.